You spend $1 per one tour of duty ticket, and to finish up a whole 2 cities tour, you'll need 4 of these tickets. Now with such a low chance of getting an Australian drop, is it really worth spending the $4 per tour trying to profit off of MVM? Well, let's go find out. Hey peeps, it's your one and only Dr. Meme Cat. Today we're going to talk about man vs machine, and if it's actually worth trying to profit off of the game mode. I won't have to do much explaining about the game mode itself, but in case you're new, MVM or man vs machine was a game mode introduced to TF2 on August 15th, 2012. A group of 6 players is to complete around 6 waves, depending on what skill level and map is being played on, where in each wave different types of enemy robots are to be destroyed. Man vs machine is a very strategic game mode, where great teamwork is mandatory in order to complete the game, especially if you're playing on a more advanced skill level. If you're more skilled at the game mode, it is best to play with a group of players that you're friends with and know they're skilled as well. That way completing each game becomes much easier. Now probably the most favorite part of MVM for every player out there is the tour finish, where every time you finish a tour, you pray to Lord Gaben that he gives you the golden pen drop, so you can sell it for over 2,000 American dollars. Or just, go to pubs, wear a gibbous, and announce that you have a golden pen. Obviously no one will believe you until you actually pull it out. And that's when that one kid will start screaming through his toaster microphone and you'll have enough of the year rape, so you'll be forced to leave the server. But now, let's talk about 2 cities and gear grinders specifically, since Australian weapons are dropped at the end of those tours. Let's be honest, practically every MVM gamer out there plays it for the chance of an Australian drop, or even better, an extremely rare golden pen drop. Because who would actually play the same 3 or 4 maps over and over, like 100, 200, or even 300 times, just for fun? I know I wouldn't play on an MVM map 100 times, just for fun. It's the feeling inside that you know you have the chance of getting a valuable item at the end of a tour that keeps us going. Now is it really worth believing in your conscience that you will actually get an Australian weapon drop and profit after you subtract the cost of each ticket? In my personal experience and opinion, hell no. After completing over 30 tours, I've gotten 0 Australians, 1 shitty pro killstreak kit, oh and yes, 10 golden pens! Not. I feel like MVM is just really rigged in this case, as I spent over $120 on MVM tickets and maybe got $20 back in items max. But now, that's just me talking. In MVM, when a tour is finished, everyone has an equal chance of getting an Australian drop of about 1%. So there have been many cases where people got an Australian drop on their first tour and some others on their 100th tour. I personally know quite a bit of people that got their first Australian drop within their first 10 tours, and recently met a guy in one of my games that got a golden pen drop on his 260th tour while he was already past his 600th tour. So anything is possible. I'm interested in seeing what some other players have to say about MVM and if they believe if it's profitable or not. So let's go see what they have to say.
It's quote time.
If you have the Lord Gaben watching over you, anything is profitable. No. At least for me, yes. I got an Australian grenade launcher for my first tour, and I've never played MVM since that moment because others were bothering me saying that MVM is just for fun, not for profit, but I might start playing it again soon. If you're lucky enough to get a golden pen, yes, but personally I'd say no. Too much effort just to be able to get an Australian, which are going down in price right now. So maybe at the start it was profitable, but right now it's really not worth it. Though, MVM is also fun and it's a different experience from normal games, trading wise it's not going to give you much profit unless you get lucky and get an Australian or a good professional killstreak kit. Yet you could say it's worth it because it gives you time to get away from super competitive players and fight all robots with a team. Yes, if you're lucky you could get a bot killer / Australian, usually worth more than the ticket you bought. Short answer, no. Spending about 8 ref to buy a tour of duty ticket to more than likely get less in return unless you get lucky to find an Australian or killstreak kit, you would just be better off saving up to buy them.
Nope.
From the looks of these quotes, we are leaning more towards the no side. Like I said previously, I myself lean more towards the no side, as only a little amount of MVM players out there will actually profit from MVM. Those are the players that will either get an Australian drop on their first or second tour and stop playing MVM right after, or a player that will get a golden pen drop worth over $2,000. One of the quotes also had a really good point. When Australian weapons were first introduced to the game, a lot of the players were hyped about them, and the values of these weapons were much higher compared to now, where you actually had a greater chance to profit. So even if you get an Australian drop, it could be an SMG worth 16 bucks, which means you'd be only able to cover the cost of 4 tours before you start losing out again. And with the chance of getting any Australian weapon being so low already, you'll have to pray to Lord Gaben to be one of the only people to truly profit a good amount off of MVM. So in this case, it's much safer to build yourself up to an Australian you want by trading, rather than actually play for countless hours, especially if you don't like the game mode, and lose out anyway. But although you may not profit in money from the game mode, there's something else that you can profit on. Like stated in the quotes, MVM is different from other game modes, so if you don't play too often, finishing a tour once in a while can actually be very enjoyable.
Nice.
When I previously said players don't play just for fun, I meant that no player would want to play 100 hours for months straight, knowing he won't profit anything from it. If I told you to complete 100 specific tours of boot camp, you'd most likely get bored after 5, because you would know there is no real reward at the end. Since now I have completed over 30 tours of 2 cities, I can say they were actually quite enjoyable. The reason for that being is, I took breaks in between. There would be a time where I would complete 5 tours, and not play for a month afterwards. Then come back, complete 3 tours, not play for 2 months, and so on. During all these tours, I have met many friendly gamers that I got a chance to work as a team with. Let's not forget that I also learned many great strategies to the game that were useful in other game modes. But in conclusion, if you're feeling lucky and want to aim for around 1% chance of getting an Australian drop, or even under 1% chance of getting a golden pen drop, then I truly wish you the best of luck, as it is possible and has been done before many times. If you're a person that just wants to work in a team, make new friends, and kick some robots' ass, then I would recommend you trying out a few tours as well. Depends on what you truly consider profit, there could be a yes or no answer. But I'd like to thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet. Oh, and don't forget to follow my new Twitter. Bye peeps, have a nice day.